to be watched. Hello, everyone. I am going to go ahead and mute the participants really quick, um, just so we don't have any background noise. And I am so grateful that you guys are here tonight. I am so excited as well that you get to hear a story. And some of you might have heard his story before, but trust me, no matter how many times you hear it, it's always going to be heartfelt. It's always going to hit and give you chill bumps because it shows what is possible. It shows how you can be on the top of the world and then you come crashing down, and how you can hit rock bottom and get back up. And right when you're up here, you go back down and you keep going. And this is life, guys. It's a roller coaster ride. But you know what makes this roller coaster ride a lot better? If you have your health, if you have a community, if you have support, if you have less financial stress, if you have a team and a company that supports you along the way. And that's what we're here to do tonight. We're here to share with you an incredible company that has changed not only my life and so many thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands all over the world, but this incredible man named Alvie Shepherd. And Alvie is, oh, I'm gonna, hello, let me just go over to the company first. This is Isogenics. And yes, we're a company based on integrity. We truly believe that, you know, if it's not right for the company, it's not right for the associate. And we understand that, you know, there are people out there that are hurting, that are searching for a solution, and we do have those solutions. So my question is, are you living your ideal life? Well, you'll hear how Alvie was living his ideal life, then he wasn't, then he did, then he's not, then he's back up. So it's part of life. So you're not alone if you're struggling and if you have your ups and downs. We believe in the art of well-being, and that's about crafting new experiences, making healthier choices, and belonging to better communities. Guys, our health is our wealth. And if we don't have our physical health, our mental health, if we do not have that, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter how big your house or how fast your car is, you're not going very far. And without further ado, I'm just not even going to go into all the other details. I'm going to introduce you to this amazing guy. His name is Alvie Shepherd, and he's a man of faith, and he will tell you that day in and day out. There's no doubt about it. And he's also a former pro baseball player, loving father of two amazing children. I do have a picture of him and his babies right there. Ta-da, look at them, they're so cute. An incredible husband he has been. And also he won the Isobody Challenge in 2016 and a bunch of amazing awards. So where is his Isobody Challenge picture? There it is. Not only did he win it, he also helped his teammate Mark win it as well. So he showed him the way, right? So once we learn how to do something, we want to share it with the world, and we want other people to benefit from it. So he has an incredible team. He's making megabucks that has allowed him to have the time freedom and the financial freedom to do a lot of amazing things. And he will go more into those details. But look at those smiling faces. He's on the beach in North Carolina last week, enjoying his time freedom with his babies. And this right here, and he's going to go more into this, you know, he went from this to this, right? He had, oops, I moved his picture. Ta-da. So he had that incredible transformation, and then life happened and he let himself go, and it happens. But because he had the train tracks to run on, he had the system that got him there the first time. He just plugged back in and got back in. And this is his 30 days, guys. 30 days. If he can do it, so can you, I guarantee you. And here's some other teammates. He's amazing to have at parties. He has a built-in selfie stick because he's very, very tall. I don't think I have, no, I don't. I was going to put his picture of my daughter with him, but I didn't get a chance to. So Alvie, handsome, amazing, heart of Isogenics, and everything in between. Can you please unmute yourself and share with us what Isogenics has done for you and your family? And thank you for taking the time from your babies to be here and share with the world.
Oh, thank you for having me, Christina. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. So yeah, I mean, you pretty much told my story, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I'm just kidding. No, so Christina said, I mean, I'm just gonna take it back. Once upon a time, I was a pro baseball player. I worked my tail off as a kid in high school and college, and I got to the highest level where I got drafted in the first round by the Baltimore Orioles. Dream come true. Everything was going great. I was climbing the ladder quickly, and then the unthinkable happened. I got hit with a ball, in a freak incident during a pregame thing, and it really damaged some nerves in my shoulder, and I never was able to come back from it. It was I was 8 days away from my call up to the big leagues, and all the dreams that I had, blood, sweat, and tears, and all that stuff. It just got yanked out from under me, just like that, and it was that quick. And I didn't have a plan B, and that's probably why I got to plan A. I put all the eggs in those baskets because I knew that that's what I wanted to do in my life. And so when that got taken away, I went back home with my tail between my legs. I was 24 years old, had a bank full of money, but I was empty. I was empty in a lot of ways, depressed. I lost my identity, and because of that, I didn't know how to handle myself very well. I never thought I would have to handle, such a young age, being out of a job that I put everything into. So I started, I did go into coaching, which I still do some today. I started coaching youth athletes in the area. Ages, I've coached 5-year-olds, but up to college and some pro as well. And I still enjoy doing that, just passing on the knowledge, always paying it forward. I've always been someone that loves to help people. Because I know that I didn't get where I was without the help from my father and coaches that I've had in my past, and players that I just learned from. I started doing that, but I was empty. I still had that hole in my heart missing, with not having pro ball in my daily, because it's a lifestyle. I mean, being a pro athlete, you're there from the time you get up and shower to the time you basically get out of the ballpark and you go have a bite to eat, or maybe a drink with your buddies, and then you start it all over again the next day. And you have very few days off whenever you're a baseball player. So it was a lifestyle that it was gone. And so I got to drinking a lot, and a lot more, and I started doing some recreational drugs. Took me way out of where who I am, and I became a shell of myself. It was a secret that I had. I started dating my late wife, Rachel, about 8 years into that addiction. She didn't know about it. Never told her until I had my aneurysm, which I'll get to in a second. But I didn't want anyone knowing that. And one of the many reasons why I loved Rachel and was with her, is because she wasn't into drugs and things like that. Now, she had a few drinks, but that wasn't anything I was concerned with. It was not having a partner that was using drugs was very important, because I knew that I hopefully one day would get finished with that lifestyle. And knowing that I had a soulmate that was not into that was, it was part of one of the many things I loved about her. And so, but years went on, and I still had that dirty little secret, and I started praying a lot. Christina was correct. I'm a man of faith, and I've always believed in God, but my family was never a church-going family. Great people. We well respected people. They raised me well, but we never went to church. And so, but I just always remember in tough times, praying like, God, please, we need some help. We had some struggles as a child. My father lost his job, 33 years at a machine factory, and I remember him going to the picket lines, and everything we had in our cupboards was generic, powdered milk, all that stuff, which as kids, you see all your friends wearing these Nike shoes, and you got the Stadias that look like Nikes, and so all those things. And we had some struggles, and some, and just family stuff that was going on. And so lots of prayer back then. And then when I started this, drug addiction, it got to a point where I was ready to end it. I was ready to end my life. I was not happy with who I was. I was a shell of myself, and I didn't want to be. I was dying. I felt that I was dying, and I even told my late wife, Rachel, at the time, that I was not going to live to be 40. And I remember her saying, "Oh, don't stop that," but I knew that what I was doing, she didn't know that I was doing. And eventually it almost did take me, in 2013, after 13 years of addiction, you know, my prayers were finally answered. I ended up having a brain aneurysm rupture. And I remember, you know, asking the Lord as it was happening, please don't take me. I promise you, I'll never go back. If you don't take me, I will never go back. And I woke up from surgery, emergency brain surgery, and I was alive. And I just said, that's it. And I did a 180. I did a 180, never went back, never will go back, you know, with the drugs. And so that was very, it was my come to Jesus moment, but I knew that I was saved, and so I got baptized a year later on the same day of that aneurysm, the year to the day, and it was the best day of my life to that point, and it always will be. That was just such an important part of my life, and then. We finally got healthy. I started taking care of myself. Right before Isogenics, I lost about 40 pounds, and I got stuck. And one of my teammates, Darren Hooper, who I played with the Orioles, his girlfriend is Jen McCaskill, who's my coach. They reached out to me about the program about 2 months into my recovery and said, you know, hey, listen, we want you to join our team. I think you'll love it. And little did Darren and Jen know that I had been following Darren on Facebook because I thought he was just jacked. And I remember giving him a little bit of business saying, hey, well, do you ever wear shirts, you know, because he's always on, you know, he's always on Facebook, you know, jacked up muscles. And, you know, then next, you know, years later, I'm doing the same thing. But that was what I wanted. I wanted that body. I wanted that physique. And so he didn't know that I was following him on that. So I told him that, you know, I would go ahead and jump on board. So I did. I jumped on board. I was a skeptic like most people are, but I also knew that he had the results. I mean, as a friend of mine, I trusted him. And I saw him, and he looked great. So I got on board, and I started, you know, using Facebook and following some other people like the BBs who I love, and everybody on here I love all of you. I just started following these amazing people and just plugging in. And I think that's such a big part. You know, I just needed a community. And one of the things that I really dove into was the community. And I needed a lifestyle. And those two things were the most important for me, the community, the lifestyle. And the business was intriguing, but I told my coach, I said, Jen, Darren, I'll think about it, but I got to see results first. And so I went into it with that mindset, and I actually paid the preferred customer or whatever it was back then extra to not be a distributor, because I was not into it for that. And so anyways, 5 days went by, and I was already down about 15 pounds. I was feeling incredible. And I called him back and I said, who, how, where do I need to do to start getting my family on board? My friend, I need to get my family on board first. And then she told me what I need to do. And I got, you know, a good amount of about 4 or 5 of my family members on board, paid for my first 2 months of products right there. And at that point, I just kept going. I just was all in, and I felt so amazing that I didn't want to stop that feeling. So I followed the plan, lost 45 pounds in 45 days. Not typical, but that's how I roll. I went all in, and you know, I wasn't perfect, but I didn't want to half-ass it either, excuse my language, but I wanted to go all in, and I did. So I lost that weight, and I inspired a lot of people, and I love inspiration. Inspiration is so important. You know, and during that process, you know, I married my wife, my late wife, Rachel. We got married. We had my son, Kingston, or our son, Kingston, I'm sorry, about, three months into my Isogenics journey. So we had, I did this transformation. You know, I wanted to be in my best shape. I wanted to be a role model for my son whenever he was born. And when he was born, I was back to my high school weight. That's when I was, the AMP series came out, and I started putting on the muscle with the AMP products. I was sharing it with anyone I could come in contact with. I just knew that how I felt needed to be felt by everyone. At least in my opinion. And so I had no qualms with talking to people about what we were doing. And so that's how I did. And so I lost that weight. I started putting on the muscle. I think I put on about 40 pounds or so of lean muscle. I ended up winning the Ice Body Challenge in 2016, which was a huge honor. Thanks, Jeff. Huge honor. I mean, I wanted to win it. I put it out there. You know, after my second challenge and I didn't get a call, I made a video and I said, listen, I'm winning the 2016 Knights of Body Grand Prize, guarantee it. And I put it on my page. That was bold, very bold, as the BBs would say, be bold, right? And Chris Tanaka, I love his Be Bold page. Very important to be bold, because when you know you have something special, you need to put it out there with boldness, because people will understand that you mean business when you have that boldness. So that's a tip for anyone out there looking to share what we have. Be bold, because we have the best. And so, yeah, so I won the 2016 Knights of Body Grand Prize, huge honor. Kathy Coover, Jim Coover, Eric Coover up there on the stage. They allowed my late wife, Rachel, and my kids to come up on stage with me, which was one of the most memorable moments of my Isogenics journey, was having my family up on that stage. Wow. I still get emotional, because it was such a turnaround in my life. You know, going from rock bottom, literally dying, surviving, you know, taking the Lord's hand, never going back, praising him every day, having my son. And then, you know, next thing you know, I ended up having the challenge that I won. I actually, we had my daughter, Braven, a month into that challenge. So I declared I was going to win it. We got pregnant. We were pregnant with Braven. I didn't let anything get in my way. I was always an attentive husband, an attentive father, but I was determined when I was doing what I was doing with my goals, I was doing that. If I needed to step away because of, you know, fatherhood or being a husband, I did, but I was very, very committed to winning. And so yeah, so I mean, do it, you know, people say, you know, well, life is, you know, so much is in the way and so much is, you know, it's hard and it's all this, and you're right. It is. Life is hard. Life is hard. No matter how you turn the page, it's hard. You know, you're going to go through tragedy. You're going to go through heartbreak. You're going to go through happiness and proudness and every other emotion you can possibly think of. But you have a choice. You have a choice to, you know, be in the gutter. You have a choice to keep your mind negative, or you have a choice to be as positive as you can be. And try to surround yourself with those type of people. And that's what I did with Isogenics and the people on this, you know, live here, or this, you know, this Facebook Live here, is that, you know, you surround yourself with the right people. They help lift you up. This community helped lift me up in so many ways. You know, a lot of you know that my wife got diagnosed with you know, breast cancer in 2018. My daughter was a little over a year old, maybe a year and 3 months old. My son was 2.5. You know, we had everything in front of us. We were a boy and a girl. We had our boy first, our girl second. That's the way we wanted it. We wanted them to be 18 months apart. I had a great business going with Isogenics. My health was where I wanted it. Hers was where we thought it was where she wanted it. And we got the bombshell dropped on us that she had breast cancer. And so we went into it with positivity. Our faith has always been strong, and it always will be. You know, the Lord had different plans, and 3 years later, this past November, she passed. And then the community of Isogenics stepped in again, led by Kathy Coover and Jim Coover and Eric Coover. You know, I've had several calls with the Cougars, you know, during Rachel's actual cancer battle, and then afterwards, after she passed as well. You know, and it's something that the reason why, you know, I think I was chosen to do the community segment this past celebration was because, you know, it's so dear to my heart to talk about how amazing the community is, and how it uplifts everybody, and so many people are going through so much struggle, and you can choose to let it beat you down, or you can choose to step up and inspire others to get through it themselves, because there's so many people dealing with things. And I chose to step up. I'm sad, you know, I cry, you know, as you can see, but I know that there's better days ahead. I know that my family's taken care of. I know that I have an amazing team that love each other and that are supportive. And this business has been a blessing. I'm going to go there for this part of the talk here, because the business of isogenics, a lot of people they misunderstand it. They don't know. A lot of people think that you hear all these things, the scam, or you're in a pyramid scheme, and all these things that it's just ignorance. And I say that respectfully. It's just they don't know. And when I started this, I didn't know, but I just knew that the people that I was associated with were good people, and so I trusted them, and I dove into the tools that we have that taught us, how to share this authentically and how to share it compliantly, and then of course I just know the products worked, and so this business for my family was huge, because it allowed my late wife to be a stay-at-home mom. We discussed this before. I started, and we had our son Kingston, that we didn't want our son at the time, we didn't know we were going to have Braven yet, to be in daycare. Nothing against daycare, but we didn't want that. We wanted to raise our child at home together. That meant that she would have to stop working. And that was about $50,000 or so she was bringing into the house. That's a big, big jump to say, you know what? We can do this, and we can do this with the money that we're earning with Isogenics. And so we took that leap of faith, and sure enough, she was able to be a stay-at-home mom, and the entire time we had our kids, she was here for me and the kids, and also for her entire cancer treatment. I was able to take her to her appointments, bring her back. I was able to do everything I needed to do. There's nothing holding me back from being there for Rachel at any point of her battle and before. And she was able to be that stay-at-home mom that we had talked about because of my hard work. It's not get rich quick. It's a hard work. My hard work is having fun, reaching out to people that are looking for solutions. And so that's what my job was, is to find out what people were looking for, and plugging them into what we have. And that ended up being a multiple six-figure income, with hard work and lots of great teammates. My teammates, without them, that's not possible. Without the leaders that I'm associated with, and not just leaders, the friends that I'm associated with that are leaders. It's such an amazing group of people that I get to be friends with and partners with, and because of that, we have the compensation plan that could turn into a primary income, and it has for me. And it's also a legacy company that my kids, I'm living to be 150, but when I do go, they're gonna have they're gonna have what I have from Isogenics. They're gonna get it willed down to them, and my grandkids are gonna have that money for them, going forward. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of this company. I've changed my entire life, and it's a lot to do with the Lord. It's everything to do with the Lord, first of all. That's why I'm here still, but it's also just the heart of service that is the Isogenics community, and I'm just very proud to be a part of it, and I'll never stop. I just love what I do, and that's it. I just love that I've been able to accomplish some things. The awards are great and all. Don't get me wrong, I love winning. All right, this is part of my personality. I love to win, but I love people, and that's where it really comes down to. So that's what we're part of. We're part of community, and so that's it. That's what I got for you. I love what I do. Love you guys, and thanks for listening.
We love you too. Oh my gosh, you're getting all kinds of hearts from everyone. Thank you for being so open, and for being available, and for being so raw and real, because I truly believe that people need to hear that. Someone seeing you walking down the street, you look healthy, you're obviously super tall and super fit. They're like, oh, he's got his stuff together, right? Never would they imagine and know, they see the glory, but they don't know the story. And you just gave them the story. And I know without a doubt that your story is going to inspire some people out there. And I mean, there are people praying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I do want to I also want to talk about, I lost that weight, put on that muscle, and you saw the picture. Throw it back up there if you would, the recent one. And I want to talk about this because, listen, that's my beautiful late wife Rachel and my kiddos. Turn it back to the next one. No, yeah, that one. Okay, I want to talk about this because this is important. life happens. I lost my wife, my soulmate. I went to the food, and I was eating I was eating extra. I was eating crap. I was eating pizzas all the time. I was eating my kids' leftover hot dogs from Portillo's. I was eating their fries too, because I love me some fries. I was doing all these things that weren't part of my healthy lifestyle. But there's no doubt I would have ended up. So I was about 280 at the beginning there. July 8th, I was 280, and I didn't feel my best. Now, I had a lot of energy still, because I do the Isogenics products every day. Never will not do them. But I was doing 2 shakes a day, and I was mixing in cleanses. If I wasn't doing that, there's no doubt in my mind I would have been 300 pounds again. There's no doubt. I would have been 300 pounds easily, because I was eating that poorly. I'm sorry. So because I did keep the foundation, I ended up 280, which is still not where I wanted to be. So I decided a little over 30 days ago, you saw the dates there, that I was going to go ahead and do a 30-day challenge for myself. And I wanted to inspire anyone out there to join me. Like I called it the Me versus Me challenge. It's not something that Isogenics had. It was my thing that I needed for me, because I wanted accountability. So this is 7 years I've been with Isogenics. 7 years. I lost my way for a little while, but I kept that foundation. I've never not had one, probably 2 really, but at least 1 shake per day, every day for 7 years. Okay. And I cleanse still 7 years later. I do the vitamins still 7 years later, but I lost my way for a little while with my food choices. And I did gain that weight back. I did let life tackle me a lot. Okay. But I made the choice, because it is a choice, to get back to the basics, and go back to my community and ask for that accountability, and use my community for accountability, not just the Isogenics community, my friends as well. There was friends that are not part of the company yet that supported me on my journey. Okay. And I thank them all too. But I used that inspiration to kind of get myself that accountability, to get myself back to where I want to be. Now I'm not there yet, but I'm doing another 30-day Me versus Me challenge. And this is just putting it out there, shameless plug, starting it on Saturday. I'm doing it again, and I'm going to crush it again. And that picture you saw in the after picture, let me go ahead and turn that picture back. I got to talk about that picture real quick. I know I'm way over time here. That's only 6 pounds. That's 6 pounds difference. And I'll tell you what, keep that. Yeah, there you go. 6 pounds. That's it. Look at the difference there. I mean, you got abs popping, and I'm not pushing it out here on the left either. That's not me pushing it out. That's me like, man, I am not happy with how I look. That's what that is. And then 6 pounds later. Now I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. People that get on that scale and they're like, oh, I only lost. Stop it. That's 6 pounds. But you know what? I'm saying that to myself too, because you know what I said when I stepped on the scale on day 31? And I'm not gonna say the exact word because it's a swear word. I said, 6 pounds, you gotta be kidding me. That's exactly what I said. I said it out loud. And then I said, stop it. That's nonsense. And I got in there and I took my measurements. I took my pictures. That smirk on my face is proud. I'm proud. I'm like, holy crap, 6 pounds. Woo, that's amazing. And I lost 22 3/4 inches off my body in 30 days. 22 3/4 inches in 30 days. That's what it's about. It's not about, and it's not even about just that. It's about also how you feel. I felt my confidence was back up. There you go, the tape measure. So that's the point. I want everyone out there to remember. Measure. That's what you need to do. The scale is a small portion of it. Measure. There you go. Measure yourself. Get those body parts measured. That's going to be the difference maker. 6 pounds was not what I was expecting. I actually had a goal for 20 pounds in 30 days. Little did I know that I was obese when I first started the program. So 20 pounds is easy. I mean, well, I'm sorry, not easy, but it was 20 pounds was like a lot easier to attain when you're obese. But when you're muscle with a little bit of fat on top of it, 20 pounds is a lot of weight. And I didn't have it to lose. Now I still have more to lose. I don't know how much it'll be, but it's body fat I needed to lose. I need to get rid of that little strip of fat that I put on with all the crap I was eating. Point is, measure, measure, measure. Don't make the scale your number one thing, because that's going to disappoint you so much. The scale is not the answer. It's those measurements, how you feel, just how your clothes are fitting. Those are the things that I really want you to really pay attention to most. That's it. That's it. Zip it, done.
I love it. No, you don't need to zip it. It's so inspiring and so true. And I remember I went through a similar thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, I stepped on a scale and I was like, holy cow, I weighed this much. And then I went to measure and I'm like, oh, I'm good. You know, it's like you don't realize it, and you can't until you put those pictures side by side, and until you take out the tape measure, and until you realize. And then you have the non-scale victories, like you said, you know, the energy, and like you don't feel tired, you sleep better, you just have a clearer mind, and you just feel a gazillion times better. So I I wanted to ask you a question. I don't think I've ever asked you this. And if it hadn't been for isogenics, what would you have been doing for a job?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I would have been still doing private lessons in baseball and coaching football, like, which I love doing. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, those are crappy jobs. I love that. It's my passion is sports, man. I love sports. You know, so I would still be doing that. The problem I have is, especially with everything that's happened, but having kids is, you know, when you're doing baseball lessons, your main days to make the most money are the weekends, you know, and you got to be there from 8 a.m. till nightfall. That's a whole day, you know, and on the weekends to make the amount of money that you want to make for a primary job. And then during the week, you're there from the time the kids get out of school, you know, my kids getting out of school, 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 9. No, thank you. No, thank you. I want to be there for my kids. So I am grateful for Kathy Coover, Jim Coover, Eric Coover, all of you, because I don't have to do that. I have a choice, and I choose the Isogenics business.
I love it. And I can only imagine you're going to be coaching your own kids, and you're, you know, soon. And
I'm hoping like, please play.
they
I
will.
don't push it, though. I don't push it.
They will, and you know they will. And even if they won't be playing the sports you're coaching, they'll be playing other sports. You know, there's volleyball, there's other things out there. Track,
I'll be
right?
coaching it. I'll learn. Trust me. Badminton, I'm in. How do you learn? I'll learn it. I'll
Hey,
coach it.
badminton is it's an Olympic sport now. Let's
Right?
catch up, right?
That's it.
No, but as a parent, I totally understand. And we've coached, you know, volleyball and basketball and soccer and all the stuff when our kids were younger. And it's crazy to not be there for your own kids, because if you're coaching someone else's kids and you're coaching other teams and you're doing all this stuff, then someone else is coaching yours and someone else is spending time with your children. And it sucks, because someone put it in a perspective for me a while back, and it says, you know, you only have them for 18 summers, just 18 summers, right? Some for mine, they're all gone. They're all over 18. So like all those summers are gone. Now they're gonna get jobs and they're gonna do their thing and do their stuff. And hopefully, you know, they're doing isogenics. That's what they want to do. But until they build their business, they're gonna have other jobs, and they're going to not have the time to hang out with mom and dad, not have the time to do the things that, you know, we used to do together. So I love your share. And you said something about when you had the aneurysm, that your prayers were answered. You know, to consider an aneurysm an answered prayer, it's I can only imagine the pain and the suffering that you were on. And to think right now that you're considering isogenics as well an answered prayer. And I know I am, right? There's different answers to your prayers, but just because something is going hard and just because something is not going the way you thought it was going to be, right, doesn't mean that it's not the right answer to the prayers. You know, I always said God doesn't mess up, you know, and neither do you. And you just have to have that faith, and you have to trust, and you have to know that whoever's watching this, they're on here for a reason, whether they're watching it on replay or live, whether they've been with the company for years. This is a wake-up call, guys. There's other Alvies out there. There's other Alvies out there that they have no idea that in a few years, they might end up with an aneurysm, or in a few years, they will lose a loved one, their the love of their life. And they will have to take on the role of stay-home parents and be there with their children. It's not happened yet, but it will, because that's what life is. It happened to Alvie. It happens to other people. It's happened to me on so many levels, so many other losses and so many other turns and twists. What if this is the answer to their prayers? And just like someone reached out to Alvie, just like somebody reached out to me, we are all on here, and every single person that has started this company and has had an amazing success and has transformed their lives, it's because someone reached out. Someone cared enough and wasn't afraid to say, hey, I have this. It may be the answer to your prayer. It may help you. So why not you? Why not someone you love? So I am beyond grateful for you sharing. And you know, every time I learn something else about your story, I mean, we could go on for hours here. I love how you shared not having those fancy shoes, right? I bet you right now, because of your hard work and because of your sacrifices and because of your choices, your kids have the nice shoes now, right? And you can only imagine the kind of shoes your grandkids are gonna have. And it's just part of life, and things that we don't even think about and things that we can't even phantom. You know, when you started Isogenics and when you walked on that stage, when you said, I will be the Isobody finalist, not only did you win $25,000, which I'm sure has made an immense, you know, difference in your life, but you became an inspiration for so many people. And if Alvie can do it, so can you guys. Whoever you are, whatever you are, please reach back to the person that shared this video, reach back to the person that invited you to watch this. Whenever you're gonna watch this, 5 years, 5 months, 50 years from now, you need to put this in your body, and it can and it will change your life. So, and by the way, it comes with 30-day money back guarantee. So you get your sexy back, or you get your money back, or you can eat it for free, whatever you choose. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. And see you again next week. Let me stop. There we